congratulations both of you. It is obviously a labour of love. Jennifer, you taking some time with this, and you and your first directorial out as well. Were you at all daunted by the prospect of taking on what had been such a successful book, but also one that's so based around the dialogue as well?
No, I didn't. I was never daunted by it. I was excited by it. First, the adaptation, the script that we both attached ourselves to and loved for all those years, was such a good story. This is before I knew the novel really very well. I was very attached to the story. I believed it was very well observed. As a father, I understood a lot of the detail in the parenting and the scenes between the three of us. I was nothing but excited about it. The idea that it was based on a very loved novel, I thought was not daunting, but just basically a good thing, I thought.
And the success of it as well, and the parallels that it draws with particularly what's going on today in society, was that at all prescient, do you think, in the way that it sort of overshadowed the sorts of things we were talking about with a look back towards obviously the 60s and so?
No, I didn't. I wasn't drawn to it because of that. I was drawn to it because of the family, I think. Because of the story between the husband and wife, the story between the father and daughter, the mother and daughter, all of these relationships I thought were really interesting. Of course, there are parallels. Of course, in the film we see riots, the Newark riots of '67. There's imagery there that's very similar to things you could see on the television today. There's terrorist bombings. There are parallels, but there weren't any, in my mind, any reason to be making the film. It's purely coincidental, I suppose, or depressing, if you like, that these things are still going on.
Do you think? I mean, how personal was it a film for you both, given both the nature of the familial setting, but having read it back in '97 when it was so successful, actually coming to making the film, was it sort of not relieving but satisfying to be able to actually finally put this to screen, but also being able to play those characters finally? Did you find that to be a sort of journey for yourself?
Yeah, it's always a personal experience, I think, making a movie. I love what I do. I love having the opportunity to be in films, and especially when they're fulfilling, rewarding experiences, It's a movie that I was attached to many years ago in a different iteration, and I let it never came to fruition, and I kind of let that go, and then was really happy to hear that it was coming back around again. I was really taken by the story, and I was really moved by Dawn and her journey through the film, and her coming to terms with her own life and relationships and her own identity, and I thought it was really interesting. So I was really happy to be part of it.
Because it is about the female characters, as you said in the news conference, and in many respects I sort of saw some parallels with, we need to talk about Kevin Lionel Shriver's book about not quite seeing what's necessarily in front of you. How crucial an element do you think the female characters are?
Totally, it's quite unusual.
So the protagonist is obviously male.
Well, yeah, but is he? I mean, I don't know. I sort of... there's an enormous amount of female talent in the film. It's true, it seems a silly thing to say, but it's quite usually the other way around. There's usually many more male characters than female, and in this film it's the other way around. There's 6 really, really amazing performances by women in this film, and I really like that. I come from an environment of women. I have 4 daughters and my wife Ev, and I live in a sort of very female environment at home, and I love it. And so it's sort of wasn't any reason why I decided to do the film. I must find a female film, but it's quite in keeping in a way. I like it. And I'm proud of that, I think it's great. It's about time there should be films like that.
You talked in the news conference as well about the sort of difficulties in trying to, understand the dynamic that usually exists between an actor and a director. So how difficult was that for you, missing that dynamism that sometimes exists between the people you're directing, and how difficult, Jennifer, was it for you as well, having the director standing across from you doing these scenes?
For me, there was not one moment where it felt like a liability. I mean, it always felt like, very comfortable and like an asset. It was really close to me if I had any questions. Or
That's right there.
He was very available all of the time. And I really appreciated the way that he approached our work together and the way he liked to work. It was really wonderful for an actor because we, had a lot of rehearsals and very private rehearsals that were where you didn't feel like you were looking over your shoulder or trying to needing to commit to something right immediately out of the gate. It really felt like our rehearsals were a time to explore and ask questions, and I really enjoyed that experience.
Yeah.
And for you, did you miss at all the being able to spar off a director for feedback, being able to sort of look for that for some? I mean, obviously you're not always seeing scenes as they happen through the lens of the camera. You're having to see it through your own eyes. How difficult a challenge was that for you? And do you think that you actually learned anything as an actor through that experience?
Oh, totally. I mean, I never felt directorless because I was the director, and I put a lot of time and effort in the prep of the film to make sure I knew what I was after, and then I allowed myself to the freedom, if you like, to explore with the actors, and in having created the feel and look of the place with the designers, and having very long and lengthy discussions with the cinematographer about how scenes should feel, and even down to camera position ideas, which were just ideas. I was well prepared. I didn't feel like I was walking on a set going, well, let's hope for the best. I mean, there was a couple of scenes we didn't block or have ideas for. I mean, I always had an idea. Because I saw the scenes in my head, so I would draw that out with the DP, and I say, well, I can imagine that I would be here, and maybe Jennifer's there, and maybe we move together here or something. But they were just sketches, they were ideas, and they were how I saw it in my head. And often we would start like that in our rehearsals. We go, this is what I imagined. It's always good to have an idea. And then often it would change. Sometimes it didn't, but often it did. And it was always drawing from all of us. Like, we're all involved in that, and that's how the best work is created, I think, because everybody's creatively involved, and it fires everybody. I know that from being an actor. It's frustrating to be told what you're doing, to walk on set and have your stand-in to show you what you're doing. It's like really depressing in a way. You're like, oh, really? Okay. So it's much better to get everyone out of the way and, okay, this is what I thought, try it, and then if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And it's satisfying for everybody. And then I think you get everybody's best work, and it's what makes these scenes really played so well, I like to think, in the film, because everyone was really put their heart and their sleeve in there. It's great.
And just quickly, lastly as well, just one last question. Is this something you're going to continue to explore going forward? And Jennifer, having seen how well he did it, how much he enjoyed it, is that something that you'd consider as well in the future?
Yeah, I've thought about it. I have no imminent plans. It's something I've thought about. I think that I might enjoy eventually.
I'll do it.
You'll
I'll
do
be
it?
in it. Yeah,
Thanks.
maybe I'll do it.
And are you going to continue to do it as well?
I'd love to, yes. I'd like to keep going.
It's difficult to go back without directing now that you've sat in the hot seat as well.
No, I mean, I've acted since. I did the Trainspotting sequel with Danny since finishing this film, and I loved it, and I enjoyed all my time in the trailer reading the newspaper that I didn't have on American Pastoral, but I'd love to do it again. Yeah, I just have to find the right story.
Great. Well, I look forward to that film too. Thank you.